This video is going to be a little different than usual, just a little bit more personal. Every day, when I look at the list of things that I have to do, I think, wow, what if they find out that I'm not for real, that I'm a liar? What if they find out I'm not really an artist, or I don't have my shit together? Fortunately, I know what to do when I'm thinking like this, but it was not always the case. Did you know that I stopped painting for 8 years? Did you know that I used to make videos to pull myself up instead of sharing what I know? Imposter syndrome is one of the most dangerous and powerful emotional state one can go through. And today I'm going to share with you not only how I beat it, but also how I use it to my advantage. Let's go. A few years ago, I was launching my coaching business, and I remember that this journalist was at my house and she saw some of the paintings that I had made for my home, and she asked, "Can I interview you?" And I was like, "Me? But I'm not an artist. No way." I totally dismissed it. I could not even think about the word artist being associated with me. But the truth is, I painted most of my teenage years. I even won some awards. When at work, I was always asked to contribute to some creative endeavors. I even worked one day with an Emmy award-winning costume designer, and every piece she created, she asked me for my opinion. Who was I to give that opinion? That was the biggest fear I had. I'm like, what if they find out that I'm not this creative person that they all think I am? Do you know that feeling? But the truth is, everything that I have done, that I really cared about, that's something that meant a lot to me, I did not have the credentials, and I certainly did not think I had the talent for it. A couple years ago, I decided to give my art a full chance, and I started painting every day, and I started sharing on social media. Now, I still felt like I was not a talented person, but I showed up anyway. And something I noticed is that every time I did that, every time I showed up, regardless of how I felt, but I just showed up and shared what I was doing, especially on those days where I didn't feel talented, somebody bought a piece of my art. I'm sorry, but the fact is, imposter syndrome does not really go away. You simply start looking at it like it's an annoying neighbor, and you just live your life with it being by your side. That's it. It will often push us to prove to ourselves that we can indeed do it. It will also make us realize that other people have done it. And finally, we will start seeing that this whole being a fraud concept is completely made up. Yes, you heard me right. You simply cannot be a fraud because nobody has ever been you. So, you know that expression, "You do you, boo." I love it. I love that expression because there's no way that somebody can do things the way that you do them. Not now, not ever. The way you do things is completely 100% valid. And also, nobody can tell you that you're doing you the wrong way. How cool is that? Of course, there are some regular standards and procedures that our civilization has agreed upon. There are even some laws. So, of course, if you go and break those laws, well, maybe you are doing it wrong. I mean, don't go get surgery unless you know that the doctor has done this before, right? But that's just common sense. But if you have been a doctor for 15 years, for instance, and you still feel like a fraud, you have to start looking at the fact that maybe that feeling serves a purpose. Maybe you double check your work all the time, which makes it safer. Or maybe you appreciate the power that you actually have. But for my fellow creators, artists, and entrepreneurs, let's be honest, okay? Nobody creates like you, and nobody will ever create like you. So the idea that you are an imposter is simply treachery. It's fake, it's phony, it is completely a lie. In fact, it is what I call an error message from your mind. Your brain is giving you an error message. You see, your brain's purpose is to keep you safe, right? So when you are creating, you are expanding the realm of possibilities. You're going above and beyond anything that is known before. Therefore, your brain, who's not used to this, is going to send you signal messages such as danger, danger, danger. And one of those signals is the feeling of being an imposter. It will slow you down. It will stop you. It's the brain's job to stop you in case of danger. So how do you beat it? Well, here are 3 things that have worked for me. First, you can welcome it. Hey, imposter syndrome. Yes, I'm in danger zone. Second is that you can be bigger. What would it look like if you did not have imposter syndrome? Pretend that you are being that person right here, right now. Fake it till you make it, baby. Third, break it down. If you are tackling a task that is so big that your brain thinks it's dangerous, if you break it down in smaller, easy, simple pieces, your brain will not think it's dangerous, and you can simply focus on those small pieces. So when you break it down, the imposter syndrome is not there. But you could also kick it. I mean, if you focus on why you are doing it and how good you are doing it and how much joy it brings you, imposter syndrome may show up, but you will not see it, period. So if you need permission to enjoy the whole process and go for it regardless, then this is it. Go create now.